Hello, tea sippers. That is the strangest thing that is going on right now. And I can't even explain what it is. Because I'm not a woman that panic very easily, I won't panic now. Welcome to the show. We will not bring in any music. We won't do any of that. Because clearly, something is going on with that. I don't know. Hello, Pete. Thank you. Let's just hang tight for a second, Pete. Every time I send you a request, something happens. So I'm going to try it again and see what happens. Thank you guys so much for coming back. That it does not knock me off, Pete. Ugh, Pete Frazier. Oh, what was that? Was like really, really weird. It would not let me bring you on. It just said, mm-mm. You can't talk to Pete.
What's up, baby?
What's going on, baby? You sitting up in the dog, so we can't see you. What's going on?
Hey, no, I'm in the dog. I'm strolling down the street.
Rolling down the street. I love it. Again, I want to tell you first of all, thank you for giving us the opportunity to speak with you directly about this amazing event that's coming up this weekend. The 29th, right?
29th annual.
I think I've asked you this before. Why do you keep doing this? What's your
Well, I think
drive?
I do it because I think it's something nice for the community, for the Steps community. It gives adults something to do. And that was one of the reasons why I started doing the contest because when they first started doing the contest, the radio station was doing it. It was just another event to the radio station, and they didn't realize the impact that Steppers did in Chicago when it came to this dance. So what they did is they did it for about 9 years and then they stopped doing it. So at that point, like I said, I thought it was good for the community. It gave us something to do. It gave me a lot of things that we like to do as well. So from there, I took off and started doing it, trying to help it grow. And then, a lot of people have fun with it. So
Yeah.
like I said, we're going into the 30th year next year, and hopefully we can make it big and better, and try to pull out some of the kinks and have
Mhm.
fun with the dance.
I'm glad you said Kings because it's an excellent segue to one of the questions I wanted to ask you. You guys have been doing this contest for 29 years. I'm assuming, and this is clearly an assumption, I've only been dancing maybe 5 years. So I
Hmm.
still got Similac behind the ear. So work with me. The rules that apply today to this contest, and we'll talk a little bit more about the rules. These are not the same rules that would have applied 29 years ago, right? These are new rules,
Well,
right?
the difference in the rules, I mean, last year, I mean, when it first started, really, they didn't have a lot of rules because it was either old school and new school. I mean, and which wasn't it wasn't new school, it was actually freestyle. And freestyle was really a lot of your people that was really dramatic with the dance, doing flips with the dance, splits with the dance, costumes, a lot of different stuff. So what they did, they created what they call freestyle. So that basically gave dancers a chance to do whatever they want to do, but long as the rails of the dance was the same, the basics was the same. And then they had old school, so it wasn't no old school, new school, uh, 40 and over, 50 and over. Yeah, if you was in the old school, you was in the old school. If you was in the new school, a lot of people kind of shied away from the new school because, let me take that back. It wasn't even new school. It was called freestyle. So that gave dancers a chance to do anything they wanted to do. You had people coming out in diapers, costumes, and everything. You see what I'm saying? And it was a lot
Mm-hmm.
of fun. But a lot of these people that were doing that, they were still dancers. They were just being creative with the dance to try to get people to kind of interject with it and have fun with it. So that gave that category that they perform with. When you look at a lot of the flashy dancers, the fast dancers, the JB dancers, and a lot of the
Yes.
old school dancers, they was in that category because when you look at Shorty Ed, your Ty Skippies, and a lot of them, they had certain things that they would do with the dance that a lot of old schoolers wouldn't do. They wasn't gonna slide on their knees, do a lot of flips, and like you had Casper and them competing in skates and all that
Yes.
stuff. So that's why I was freestyle. See, long as the ram of your dance was Chicago stepping. You see what I'm saying? So that's why they had those two categories, freestyle and old school. That was it. So what we did, we changed some of the things because at that time the dance was everybody was coming from Chicago, Chicago dances only. But when we
Mm-hmm.
took the dance on the road, a lot of the people on out of towners didn't feel that they were ready to compete with Chicago dancers. So we changed a few things. We did like an out of towners category.
Uh-huh.
So that made a lot of out of towners kind of comfortable with dancing amongst people that has been dancing maybe longer than them. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So
I
we
do.
created that category, which was out of town category. Then as some of the dancers got older, we created a 35 and under category. So as the
Mm-hmm.
dance kind of evolved, we changed things to get people involved in the dance. And that's what happened. So then like I think one year we even did an intermediate category because once
Yes.
again, a lot of people from out of town felt that they wasn't ready to compete with Chicagoans. You had a few
Mm-hmm.
people like your Fios, your Drews, and people like that, Sherry Gordy. You know, they wanted to dance because they was like, man, we don't need no out of town category because we want to dance against the best the dance has to offer. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But you had a lot of
Yes.
other couples that didn't feel like that because a lot of them didn't feel that they were that good yet. And that's what happened. So now we got beginners. See, there wasn't no beginners category back then because when they came up with Chicago, when they first came up with the contest, you had a plethora of dancers already in place because we had been doing this dance since high school.
I
You see what
understand.
I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So when the radio
Mm-hmm.
station
Mm-hmm.
came out and said, you know what, we gonna come out with this steppers contest. So they got so much overwhelming response about it. Now they had to figure out a way like, wow, they was getting so many calls like when it's gonna start, when it's gonna happen. So they got
Right.
hundreds and hundreds of calls. So what it is, they said, well, we got 400, 500, 600 people calling because, like you said, you got people in place already. You got people on the west side, south side, low end, south suburbs. These people we have been dancing for years in high school. You're talking about over 15 plus years already in the game. So what they
Mm.
did say, okay, well, we have to find a way to eliminate some of these couples because there's too many, and we'll be in there all night dancing. So what they
Right.
say, okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna come up with preliminaries. And these preliminaries, they would do a scoring system. And in that scoring system, they would pick that night maybe the 10 highest scores. And not saying that you wasn't a great dancer, maybe that night wasn't your night. You didn't get enough points to make it to the next round. So what they did preliminaries on the west side, they did preliminaries on the south side, and they did preliminaries in the south suburbs. So they did 5 or 6 preliminaries in Chicago only. It wasn't an on the road thing. So even in that aspect, we had over 100 and some dancers competing
Wow.
even then because you
Wow.
had uh, uh, old schoolers competing and you had freestylers competing. So we were still getting out of there 12 and 1 o'clock, even with that. And then you had a lot of people that were good dancers, but they didn't make it through the finals. So at that point, they was pissed. Someone was pissed off, but you know what? They came back next year and they tried it again. So that's why I tell a lot of the people when you're talking about let's take it back to where it used to be, they don't know the reason why it was elimination. It was elimination because you had too many people in place that wanted to compete in this contest. That's just like you and I going to DC and we don't know nothing about hand dancing. And all of a sudden
Right.
you pop up and say we're going to do a hand dance competition. Everybody in the DC community gonna want to be a part of that. But you
Right.
and I gonna look at each other like, wow, this is overwhelming. But we can't do a contest with 200, 300 couples. So we had to come up with a way to eliminate couples where we can have a certain amount of couples in order to do this contest efficiently. And that's what happened in the contest when it first kicked off. And like I said, we picked it up because, like I said, well, this is nice for the because we were actually doing contests already, but it wasn't on that level because we used to
Okay.
have the contests at Chic Rick's and a lot of different places for $100, $50, $50, $200. It was just one of those, just a weekly thing where we're competing against ourselves. But when they brought
Bragging
it out
rights,
on
really.
that level, giving away the money they did, that just
Hmm.
brought out everybody that thought they could step. It brought everybody out.
Let me ask you, Pete. I'm glad you hit on the preliminaries, you hit on the eliminations, and I understand you saying that there was an elimination process because there was so many couples. So that was the way to try to dwindle it down to try to get the cream
Number
of the
one,
crop, if you
exactly,
will. Okay.
exactly.
It, people have often asked this, and I know I've asked you this before, but we got new tea sippers, we got new followers, we got new whatever. So we have to repeat a little bit. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
When you come, you've explained why the eliminations existed prior.
Right.
Is there any way, or do you think it will be that it will come back where you actually get the creme de la creme?
Well, the thing about it is like this here, Tika. That's like, say, a person like yourself. Like you say, you've been dancing for 5 years
Hmm.
and you want to be a competitor. You want to compete. If I don't give you a chance, if you want to grace that stage, whether some people feel that you're not as good as them, but at some point, if you want to compete, and if we don't give you a chance to grace that stage, how can you ever get better at the craft? And another thing with that, then when you start getting the same people winning, they have a problem with that. Why the same
Correct.
people winning all the time? But if you don't
Right.
want to
Oh
give
yeah.
nobody else a chance, that's what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
And just like I tell people all the time, when you look at the Andre Blackwells and the Tickmans, those guys wasn't winning like that. You see what I'm saying? They wasn't winning like that. It took years for them to reach that plateau. They decided they wanted to compete. They put the work in and they worked hard at it. And at that point, they elevated in the game because we opened that door and opportunity for them, just like we expect them for them to open that same opportunity for guys like yourself that want to
Hmm.
go out here and compete. So at the end of the day, I don't think, I think, I mean, if a person to me have, if you got the heart to get up on that stage and perform, to me, why, that's like, why don't you deserve that chance?
Right.
Everybody in the NBA don't make it to the playoffs.
Right.
Everybody in the NBA don't make it to the Hall of Fame. But
Right.
one thing about them, they can say, I played in the NBA. You see what I'm saying? So that's what competitions are. You know what I'm saying? And at that point, if you want new people to come out in this dance, you have to teach these people the same thing and give back what people gave to you. And if we don't give it back, we're gonna have the same people competing over and over. And at that point, what happens? Why the same people keep winning? Why does such keep
Hmm.
winning? Why ain't somebody? But when you get new people to compete, I don't think they're good enough. They don't need to be up there. Why don't? If they got enough, and the same people that criticize them, they're not getting up there.
And I'm glad you said that because I was actually going to say that there have been some things have come up in my timeline lately that it was just crazy. I remember back in 2016, some craziness went on, and every year it seems to be something that leaves everybody's jaws dropped. Whether it be
Mm-hmm.
a move somebody did, whether it's something somebody had on, whatever the case may be, there's always something every year that just leaves people just when those type of things happened. I think in our minds we're going, well, why would Pete even let they looked like that in the prelims? Why would he, because of course it's all your fault, you know that.
Right. Well,
Why
everything's gonna be my fault. But like at the same
of
time,
course.
like I said,
But
if
you know
a
what I'm
person,
saying? Why would he let them up there? But I understand what you're saying. You're giving everybody an opportunity. But if these people, and I'm just asking for the people, if
right,
you have the same couples that continuously get up on the stage and don't seem to be getting better, but they keep getting up there.
well, to me, they got more heart than the ones that ain't getting up there. Anybody can sit back and talk about somebody. Okay, how easy it is for me to sit down and talk about what ain't nobody else doing. If some of those individuals want to make the dance better, why don't they get up there and show them how they need to do it? It's easy to criticize other people. That's just like if our children and our grandchildren. We tell them every day, you can strive to be anybody you want to be, or you can do anything you want to do if you put your mind to it. But what if don't nobody ever give them a chance? You think that's
You're
fair to your
absolutely
child
right.
or your grandchild?
You're
So at the end of the
absolutely right.
day, that's just like people come to me and say, well, why such and such keep getting in the contest? Why don't you let them sit down? I say, first of all, if I got to sit a person down in order for you to win, do you feel like you really won? Go out there and work hard at the craft, and at that point, you'll prevail. Just like what's name won last year. You know, he
Yeah,
came from behind,
seldom.
he worked hard, and he prevailed. And at that point, everybody deserves a chance in life and whatever they do, whether you think they're good enough or you don't think they're good enough. And who are you or who am I to tell somebody they're not good enough to do something? It's just a matter of opinion. And then when they get to a point where they feel like, you know what, I've tried this 2 or 3 years, I'm gonna give it up. But they doing it because they want to. It's not my place to tell you that you're not good enough to do nothing. And it's not none of our place to tell a person that. Because everybody deserves a chance if that's what they want to do. And if some of those ones that sit back criticizing and they want to see a better situation, tell them to get up there and do something. Let's see how good they are.
Well, I tell you what, we're going to take a quick little break. Don't go anywhere. I want to say that if you guys want to continue to practice on your craft, go to Style Masters. Go to Style Masters Chapter 3. They are having their annual event over there. I think they skipped a year, but it's January 16th through the 19th, 2020. Get your passes. They're $85. For more information, go to wearenice.com. I have these announcements actually on my wall as well. Also, the 6th annual Black and Bling 2020, you will be there. The Steppers Ball, the Champagne's Life. I asked them why it couldn't be the Tea Life. I'm just saying, but it's the Champagne's Life. Pete Frazier, I'll see you there. That's with those Texas boys. That is April 15th through the 19th, 2020. Stepping into spring, March 20th through the 22nd in Little Rock, Arkansas. Also, reach out to those folks. Listen, let's get back into this. Does footwork necessarily win a contest?
Well, everything wins a contest. The category, like I said, like I tell people all the time, I was looking at a gentleman and that's in the contest. He's like, check me and my partner out, tell us what you think. And I watched him dance. And only thing they did was a multitude of terms. I said, you're judged on appearance, synchronization, footwork, showmanship. So if you dancing around the floor and you're doing a multitude of turns, then you ain't doing no footwork, then that's points you might lose on that. See, so at that point, you want to grasp all the points you can. And sometimes as a confident dancer, if you think you can come in and win anything, get on that stage, and you might have hell of a footwork, hell of a synchronization, but your outfit might not be the part. So you might lose. You figure if I got 10 judges up there, and there's 10 points being the highest, and you got 10 judges, well, you missed a whole 100 points. Well, you may only got 50 of those points. That's a big difference in a competition. So a person can sit up and say, well, they got out. But then you look at a person's outfit and say, well, they probably got 50 points in dressing, and they might got 9s and 10s and everything else. But then somebody else might come up there and give a decent enough dance and got 100 points in dressing and got 70, 80 points in other categories. See, a point system can be tricky. So when you go up there to dance, you got to bring your A game for your dress, for your synchronization, for your footwork. Because see, you get a lot of the doing dances today, they get caught up into a bunch of turns. See, at some point you got to stop in front of them judges and show them your footwork.
And
show them your synchronization. That showmanship. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of that plays a part because you on a point system. Just like in a basketball game, it only takes 1 point to win.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So you got to bring everything you need to bring to that floor when you come out there to dance.
Okay, so you just said it. Now a lot of the newer dances are predicated on a lot of turns. That's just kind of the way that it's trending, where you do a lot of turns and less footwork. Do you think there's an opportunity for that to change in the judging criteria? Adding
you can change, but what's a dance without footwork? This is not a turn thing, it's a dance competition. Okay, it's a dance competition. Ain't nobody saying when you're looking at salsa, guys have a multitude of turns, but you're looking at their feet. When you look salsa, it's the same thing. So if it's a steppers contest, we're looking at your dance ability. You see what I'm saying? Not just your turn ability. See, it's a competition where you being judged on several different things. So like I tell people all the time when they say, well, Pete, what I need to do, practice perfection. Practice where you and your partner know every move and everything you guys gonna do. Know what your partner can do and can't do. Because a lot of times when people get on that floor, first of all, they're gonna be nervous. Okay, so at that point, you have to do things that you both are gonna be comfortable with. You can see one person do something, that don't mean you can do it, or that don't mean your partner can do it. Because at the same time, when you get up there on that floor and you're nervous, now you're fumbling, you're doing things, you're talking to each other saying, you ready, you ready? So a lot of these things, you can watch some of the dancers' mouth when they practice certain things. So if you try these things and they don't work, then you can't blame them. So a lot of times, like I tell people, say to yourself, did you bring what you needed to bring to the floor? Did you have a flawless dance? Did you do everything you needed to do when you got on that floor? I mean, I've had people get in the contest, try flips, partner's head hitting the ground, all that stuff. That points are taken away from you for that. Just because you made the attempt, you got credit for the attempt, but if you didn't finish the attempt, it defeats the purpose. That's like in a slam dunk. You can go up there with the fastest approach, but if you don't make the shot, it don't mean nothing.
It doesn't mean
You know
anything.
what they're gonna say? Oh, that would have been cold if he had made it, but he didn't make it. He
You're
did make it.
absolutely right.
So if you're
You're
gonna flip
absolutely right.
somebody under your arm and do all this kicking overhead and do all this, and if it don't prevail, then at that point, thinking the judges is looking at just like everybody else is looking at that. So don't see people are always looking for someone to blame something on. They cheated me. They messed up my record wasn't right. Or this one that, this one right. But at the same time, they don't never look in the mirror and say, did we do everything we needed to do? Did we bring our A game? Did we do enough footwork? Did we do some turns? Was our synchronization together? Was our clothes together? Was there any malfunctioning with our clothes? Well, my pants was dragging on the ground, but that wasn't enough to give me XYZ. All that plays a part when you're in a competition, because you got to understand you're dancing against 60 and 70 couples that's coming out
Right.
there to win just like you.
You mentioned both feet on the ground. Okay, so you mentioned both feet on the ground. Does that apply to all categories or
That
just?
applies to old school categories. New school category is an open category where they doing flips, spins, rolling on the ground, or whatever. When you that old school 60 over category, those are strict categories. You see what I'm saying? Because that's a original style dance category. There must be 1 foot on the ground at all times. So if you're in
Y'all can
an
listen to
original
that.
category and you got 2 feet on the floor, you dragging on the ground, and you doing certain stuff, you can do it. And one thing about it, the crowd might get into it, but the crowd is not judging you. See, the crowd sometimes
Mm,
can mislead you and say, "Wow, they got out," but see, they don't. The crowd don't know what the rules are, or if they don't take time to look at the rules.
mm.
So you might give a good entertainment, a good performance, but if the judges know that a 1 foot need to be on the ground at all times, you violating yourself by even taking that chance. Because everybody get a copy of those rules when they check in. So
Right,
check your category and see what you can do and you can't do. Don't take a chance and say, "Well, I'm gonna do it anyway." So, but then they get mad when they say, "Man, you see all the people clapping for us," but the people are not judging you. You're being judged by judges.
hmm.
So all those things are important when you're in a competition.
Is it um there's always things said about favoritism. A lot of the judges, they don't like me, or they do like me, or they like that person, that's why they won. Those type of things, of course,
Well,
you've heard over the years.
well, the thing about I tell people about that is that this is a dance competition in the steps community. You're going to be judged by your peers. So if you go out here and you don't get along with a bunch of people, that's not my fault. Now, what I do if contestants are dancing, and if I have a judge that you may be concerned about, you bring that to my attention. And at that point, I might go to a judge and say, I have a contestant that's concerned that you may not give them a fair shake when it comes to this dance. Do you have any problem with it? Just kind of sometimes when you put people on the spot, that means they know they're being looked at.
The right.
Okay, but the thing about it is the hardest category for me to find judges in it is the new school category, because
Really?
everybody is bickering with everybody. Don't nobody get along with everybody. So at some point,
Mm,
if I got 10 judges and I got 70 couples, at that point, somebody gonna say, she don't like me or he don't like me. There's gonna be a problem. See, because you
hmm.
gotta understand, and then people like going back to that situation where you was talking about the elimination process. Like I said, when we started dancing, there were a plethora of dancers already in place. With this new school generation, you don't have that many people in place to be eliminating people because they
I understand.
building a community. They building a community. Our community was built already from high school. You see what I'm saying? So
Yes.
if you turn around and you don't have but maybe 200 people soaking wet in the new school community competing versus we had thousands of people competing, when you start doing elimination, you only end up with the same people competing.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the difference. I tell
Yeah.
people sometimes if you don't know something about something, sometimes ask. Because like I said, we had thousands of people in place already when it came to
And
that.
that makes sense, though. That
And,
makes
and,
sense.
and,
It
and
really
right
does.
now I'm looking at one generation a school like when I look at the Tigmans now and the Grays now, that was a generation behind us that we passed this dance down to. So at that point, then your Sean Bandys come in. But other than Sean Bandy, a lot of those people that started off with him are not even dancing as much no more. When I look at certain individuals and they're like, oh, I'm retired. You ain't been dancing for 5, 6 years. So in order to grow the dance, you see what I'm saying? You have to get enough dancers in that category because like everything you got coming now are under them, are under the Sean Bandys now. So when you look at their group of people, a lot of the people, when I look at a bunch of the people like your Wim Barnes and a lot of those individuals, they're not even competing anymore. You see what I'm saying? And doing that.
What, let me ask you this. I see a statement is saying why the panel should be dancers, which I'm assuming these people that's on the panel dance.
Are dancers. These are dancers.
They are dancers.
Yeah.
Or they should be dancers from other dance styles. Now I know you and I addressed
but
this
the
before.
thing about it, which is understandable, but how am I going to bring a salsa dancer to judge a steppers competition when I don't know how to salsa, so I don't know what the hell to look at? I've been dancing all my life. Now I can see some salsa and like what they're doing, but that don't mean that I know what they're doing. I don't know what they need to be judged on. You see what I'm saying? And those are things about it is when they first started this competition, they were bringing in celebrity judges, right? And the first thing contestants started saying, well, how in the hell they going to judge me? They don't know how to dance their damn self. So if you and I go to Miami to judge a salsa competition, we don't know a damn thing about salsa other than something that may look good to us.
Right.
So how are we going to turn around and say, well, Tika, are they doing the right footwork? Are they doing this? Now we can say, well, look good to us. But I done seen some people that can't step, that'll get out there and dance and just doing some shit that get the crowd in it. And they be like, they ain't even dance. They ain't even stepping.
Right. Right.
So at that point, you're going to have a problem there. So our biggest problem in the steppers community is us as steppers, because you can't satisfy everybody. So you damn if you do, you damn if you don't. So at that point, like I tell people, we know what the problems are. Let's find some solutions to the problems. And that's what we need to do. Because at the end of the day, everybody can't win. You see what I'm saying? Everybody
Absolutely.
can win. And so when you come out there, you got to bring your best game to the table.
What other, and then after I ask you this question, we're going to get off the judges because that just kind of is what it is. But what are the criteria to be a judge? If I wanted to be a judge,
well, a lot of times,
what do I have to be?
A lot of times what I look at in judges,
okay,
their dance history, how long they've been in the dance game, how long they've been out here dancing. You see what I'm saying? Credible dancers, and that you don't see them in a lot of bullshit.
Oh.
You see what I'm saying? I've had people come to me that are good dancers, but they may not make good judges because they don't get along with every damn body.
That's real talk, Pete.
If I put them up there, I ain't gonna do them and get a bunch of complaints about them.
Right. Right.
You see what I'm saying? And like sometimes I'll tell judges, sometimes I say, man, I want you to be a judge, but keep it to yourself. That shit go through one end out the other. Now they go, now they go and they taunt the contestants. You know I'm a judge. You know I'm a judge. You know, that's not fair. Because being a dancer and somebody coming and threatening you in so many ways that they're judged, like if you don't kiss their ass, I'm gonna give you a bad score. And that's not fair to dancers. And being a dancer, don't nobody, you already dealing with enough nervousness and things thinking about the competition. And all you need is a bunch of people that's threatening you that they're a judge and do that. So a lot of times if I say, Tika, I'm gonna make you a judge, keep it to yourself, and somebody come say, well, Tika said, she a judge, and if I don't do this, woo woo. So at that point, if it's only you and I talking, I know at that point you done went in, open your mouth about something.
That's see
what I'm saying? Do that.
That's crazy to me, Pete. And you have a rough,
do it all the time.
You have a tough job. You got
people do it all the time. And see, the thing about it is, like I say, it's not as hard when I'm going to get old school judges because you have a lot of people that's been dancing for years that are great dancers. You don't see them out all the time. They make great judges. But in the new school community, it's harder because you have you have maybe, I say 300 people that are dancing. And some of them have been dancing long, some ain't been dancing long enough. And the ones that's been dancing long enough as new school, some of them keep up a lot of the bullshit. And then if I get some of the ones that just really kind of started in the game, then they feel that they don't know enough to be a judge. So it's a catch-22 situation. Like I said,
So
we are our own problem.
We are, from what you
And
say.
that's
Now,
the
do
thing
you
about it.
have, and that's why I don't want to keep talking about the judging part, but it's a big part of what we're getting ready to encounter on Saturday. It's a big part of the judges are.
Yeah,
Do
exactly.
you run into the old school judges, because you may not have enough of the new school? Do you run into them having to judge the new school?
I have them
Is it
sometimes I may
necessarily
have to
that
put
way?
sometimes I may have to put one or two of them in there because I might not be able to find people that I feel that can go out there without a chip on their shoulder, without a personal situation in their mind and stuff like that. You know, and that's a sad situation.
That's tough.
And not saying that they're not a good person, but sometimes people have had run-ins with people, and they figure that's an opportunity to get back at that person. You know, yeah, I'm gonna get his ass, I'm gonna get her ass, and that's what you deal with sometimes.
Wow, Pete, that's tough.
You see what I'm saying?
Someone wants to know what's long enough. In your opinion, what's long enough?
I mean, to me, if a person been dancing anything over 5 years, you see what I'm saying, and been active in the dance at least 5 years, you see what I'm saying, and know what to look for in the dance. You know, those are some of the things.
I'll put my application in for next year.
You know,
I'll do it next year.
and then you get a lot of people that are new school judges and be like, I don't want to be bothered with them making ass people, because they don't want to deal with the craziness afterwards. Some of the people that you might think would be a good judge, I might say, Tika, you want to be a judge? Oh, no, I won't be bothered. No. You see what I'm saying?
You're right.
And do that.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you brought this up. After the contest, how do you mentally deal with all the negativity that comes? There's a lot. I think there's more positive probably than negative. But how do you, Pete Frazier, deal with that?
Well, a lot of times what I do, like I said, you can only get so many winners. Okay, so really, if 80% of the people come and enjoy themselves, at that point, everything else is, once it's over, it's over. The decisions have been made. Decisions have been made. Because, I mean, if you won the contest, would it be fair for me to say, Tika, she feel that you didn't win, so we got to take the trophy from you and get to her? I mean, the judge's decision is the judge's decision. Right. And once the decision is made, it is. It's what it is.
I'm going to ask you a question of fairness. And it might not even be a good question of fairness, but I'm going to ask it anyway. If you have someone that is in the old school category and they're dancing, but they're dancing against old schoolers that's been dancing forever. Let's say a Ty Skippy or a Michael Bush. There is going to be very difficult for, or is it, as an old school judge that's been knowing a Ty Skippy or a Michael Bush for years, they went to school together, all that stuff. Are they going to be more partial? And I know you can't speak for a judge, but I'm just trying to think from the side of the contestant.
Well, what it is, you have, as a dancer, if you get up in an old school category, you have to know how to adjust your dance. Okay, I look at people like a Sean Bandy, where I've seen him dance on a new school level. I've seen him dance on an old school level. And a lot of times, it can be your selection of music. Because if you're dancing in the old school category, but you're dancing off a hip hop song.
Ooh,
you see what I'm saying? So music, so as a judge, and you turn around and you getting up there dancing off of, you know what I'm saying, a new school song at that point, and then you saying, okay, I'm dancing off a new school song, but I'm in old school. You see what I'm saying? So you can turn around and say, okay, I'm gonna get up here and I'm playing some Slipping Into Darkness or some classical music, and I guarantee you, if you're a good dancer, you can adjust. I mean, I seen your Tig Mans and your Sean Bandys. I seen these guys and your Tony Dials. I seen them adjust to old school music. You have to know how to dance in the category. You can't have a new school dance and say, okay, I'm getting old school this year, and you want to keep a new school style. So if you know the restrictions in the old school, you adjust yourself. Now, if you can't adjust yourself to the dance, then that's your fault. You taking a chance by saying, you know what, I danced in new school last year, I'm gonna dance in old school this year. And if an old school judge see you, I'm gonna give you a prime example. The winner last year, what's the name dancing old school? They adjusted their dance.
They did.
I mean, to be honest, Salem, what's his name? Salem, right? Selman. I mean, he damn near looked like a George Macaroni to me.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? So
but he studied the dance too. He said he was studying this dance for 20 years.
So you have to adjust your dance according to the category that you're in. You see, you can't turn around and say, okay, I'm in new school category, and then you out here doing new school stuff off a new school song. And 9 times out of 10, the judge gonna like, damn, that's 50 cents. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Versus here go an old school couple up here dancing off an old school jam, and people can feel the music and they can feel your dance. It's like walking. If a person is walking and you playing some whispers, people's attitude automatically going in that mode.
Yeah.
If you out in the skating rink and you dance on some JBs, but you're a smooth skater, they gonna like, when JBs come on, people expecting people to do some JB type of skating.
Right.
Now, and that's the same thing in dancing. You adjust to your dance. And not saying a new school dancer can't dance in old school category. If you're adjustable dancer, know how to adjust your dance, you're dancing with the right partner that you can adjust your dance with, then you can make it happen. It's not impossible.
Give me an example of something that you've seen in an old school category that was a new school move, other than just turns. Give me something that you like.
I've seen music. I've seen dance style. You see what I'm saying?
When you say dance style, what I mean
they're dancing more in the new school dance style. A multitude of turns, a lot of different stuff for their dance style. I mean, when you look at your Tall Ricks, put Tall Rick in a new school category, and you can see the difference in it. Now, what Rick would do, he would adjust. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So as a dancer, you have to be able to adjust to the music that you're dancing off of. I'm a person like that. I can dance. You'll see me dancing with Chick Man and Dre and them, boom, boom, boom. But at the same time, as a dancer, you learn to adjust to the music and to the partner. And that's all critical, Pete. And sometimes some dancers might not be ready to do 2 category things because they may not be able to know how to adjust. I tell people all the time about basketball. A guy can be a hell of a basketball player, but until he learned to think the game, he don't become the winner that he is. And like I tell people about, I met LeBron James years ago when he came to Chicago. Hell of a ball player. Okay, but until LeBron learned how to think the game, he didn't start to win until he started to think the game. His skill set was there already. He was a hell of a ball player, but once he learned to think the game and learn how to win, then he became a winner. When I look at the Drews, I watched Drew when he first came in the dance, and I said, you know what? He's going to be a natural because his ability to adjust. I seen him walk. I seen him Greystone. I seen him new school. See, certain people have that ability, but you have to learn how to think the dance just like you know how to do the dance. And a lot of people can't think on that level. Your IQ level, some people got high IQ levels in whatever they do. Dancing, skating, playing ball. That's why they reach certain levels of whatever they do, because the IQ level is on a certain level to be able to do, and everybody don't have that. You know, sometimes it might take people 4 to 5 years to get this dance. Some people, it might take a year to get it, 2 years to get it. But it depends on the individual and how bad they want it and how much work they put into it.
What happened to the trios this year? We don't have any trios.
We didn't get enough trios. And see, the trios is based on a lot of your new school dancers. Just like I said, if they don't compete in that category, it goes away. Okay. When you had the Tigmans and the Maxes and a lot of those people doing it, and the Drews and them came in and do it, then at that point, now a lot of your dancers that's coming behind them, they're not trio dancers. So that's why a lot of times you had some of the same people competing in that category. Because you wasn't getting other guys. They would go out in the party and do it, but they wouldn't they didn't feel that they had enough to compete and do it. And that's what it is. So once we push it and if people don't get in it, then ain't nothing we can do.
Bobby Taylor wants to know, what are the different categories you're judged in during the contest? The different categories. So I know we've mentioned appearance, synchronization,
footwork, showmanship.
Showmanship. So it's 4.
Right. I think it's 5. I think it's we got appearance, synchronization, showmanship, footwork, and I think it was 5 if I'm not mistaken. I got to look.
Is it crowd participation?
No, it's not that. It's not that. No, I got to. I got them listed on the on my sheets. I got to look at it, but it's all. I think it's 5 of them. They all listed on the scoring sheet.
All right. So they're on the scoring sheet. Everybody starts out at the same score when you hit the stage.
I tell my judges in the meeting. Originality. That's what it is. Originality. Okay. But I tell my judges in the meeting, when the contestant walk on the floor, the only thing you score them in is appearance. Once they walk on the floor, you see what they got on, you score them in that. You don't score them again until after the dance is finished, because they may slip, they may fall, or anything. So you don't want to score them too fast and something happen. So you wait till they complete the dance. You already have in mind what you're going to give them. So you watch their dance all the way through. And at that point, you score them in those categories. You know, because each couple work the floor, and at some point they're going to be in front of the judges. Because it's a must, or if I was a dancer, definitely work the floor. Some dancers get carried away, they get nervous, they get in the middle of the floor, or they get on one side. You have to work that floor and give the judges a chance to see what you possess.
Now, do they have to do the floor they have to go around it one time?
I'll go around as many times as you can. If you're on a couple with 2 or 3 people, you might be able to make it around the floor at least twice.
But don't be flying around stage, y'all.
No, but no, you don't fly around it. You move around the floor gracefully.
You don't get no extra points for lapping nobody 4 or 5 times.
You move around the floor gracefully within the song that you're dancing on.
Okay.
You know.
Okay, okay, so Bobby Taylor also. Bobby got a lot of questions because I know Bobby is in the competition this year, so I'm glad he's asking questions. He said, is it 1 through 10 and 10 judges?
It's 1 through 10 per judge in each category.
1 through 10 per judge, each category.
Exactly.
So you come on the floor with a 10 in everything. Well, a 10 in what you have on, correct?
Right, exactly. So when you walk on that floor, they're going to look at you and you're going to look at your partner, what you got on. Okay, they're looking real nice. I'm going to give them an 8. I'm going to give them a 9. I'm going to give them a 10.
And you're not judged separately. Like the girl doesn't get 10 and you get 10. It's as
a couple. As a couple. Because so if I got on the tuxedo and I'm sharp, and then my partner got on looking all shabby, that's gonna go against us. We're being judged, you're being judged on everything as a couple, not as an individual. So the best thing to do is do a dress rehearsal, work with your partner. Most time, people normally work together, get their color coordination together, make sure they got on the right thing, make sure that's what they should do. Making sure they wear the right thing and do stuff like that. And if you're not sure what you want to do, then work with somebody that might know something about fashion. Because everybody don't know about fashion. So sometimes
it's so subjective though, Pete. Yeah. I mean, it's so subjective. I mean, you know, something that I may think is cute, you know, you might not, the judge might not think it's cute.
But see, the thing about it is everybody can't wear Gucci, Calvin Klein, or whatever. Sometimes you can come and do a basic thing, and it don't take, if you know how to dress, it don't take a lot to look nice. I mean, a guy can go and get a tuxedo off the rack. I mean, everybody has probably been to the prom. So you go to a place, you can go to a tuxedo shop, give me a beige tuxedo, a chocolate brown bow tie, some chocolate brown shoes, some chocolate brown socks, a woo-woo-woo. At that point, your partner got on a nice beige dress or whatever. You guys coordinated, you look nice. You see what I'm saying? And somebody might come out with some sequins on. Okay, people been around long enough to know how to dress, what not to wear, what to wear. And if you don't know, sometimes ask somebody. It don't hurt to ask. It don't hurt that. Guys come to me all the time. Hey man, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And I give them some insights. If you're comfortable in it, you can wear it. Some things, some ladies got to understand. Can you dance in a dress? Is it okay to wear pants? Some people tell people all the time, ladies all the time, don't wear their pants because they can't see your legs. They can't see what you're doing, what your feet doing. So sometimes, ask people, if you need a little help in something. You got a lot of people out here can dress.
I will say this because we're talking a little bit about wardrobe. Ladies, just be very, very mindful of your undergarments. If this is your first time attending the world's largest, your first time, not attending, but the first time you're actually participating in the world's largest, the stage is slightly elevated. So because of that, you have to be really, really careful about how much your dress spins, how much it lifts, and then what you have on up under the dress. So that's just heed the warning of that. I don't know whether judges take off of that.
If a woman comes on the stage and you have on the right undergarment that to dance in, 9 times out of 10 they're not gonna take away points for that, because if she got on a spank or whatever need to be worn up under a certain type. If you out there with nothing on, or you got a thong on, come on. I mean, everybody's grown. Everybody know what to wear, what not to wear in that aspect. And 9 times out of 10, if you think it's not good to wear, 9 times out of 10 it's not. You see what I'm saying? It's got to be questionable. You see what I'm saying?
If it's questioned, don't wear it.
Exactly.
Don't wear it. All right. So this is a good question. I love this question. Someone posed this question. Why are the scores not revealed?
Because we were doing the contest for years, and we was giving people their scores after the contest to show them what they need to work on. Then it got outrageous because they want to fight the judges. That bitch gave me a 3. I know that bitch didn't like me. They took it to another level. When I make you a judge, I don't make you a judge to be taunted by a contestant because they feel that you didn't give them the right scores. You see what I'm saying? So contestants start, because what I used to do after the contest, if you want your scores, say, okay, this is what we need to work on. We need to work on our footwork. You gave them those scores because one or two people messed it up for everybody. Because at that point as a judge, you think it's fair that you, after you get through judging contest, somebody want to fight you or curse you out, call you a bunch of names? That's not fair to a judge.
That is horrible. That's horrible and disheartening.
You see what I'm saying? I've had people come out and say, I thought you was my friend. I knew your motherfucker didn't like me. Woo, woo, woo.
What?
It becomes too personal. That's what I'm saying. See, when people tell the story, tell the truth. See, if people tell, and that's why I stopped doing that, because I'm not gonna make Tika a judge. So you know what? Let me go see what she gave me. Oh, she gave me a 5. See, I knew the bitch didn't like me no way. I know that nigga don't like me. Woo, woo, woo. Ain't nobody come there for that.
Oh, I'm stunned. Like, I'm really stunned. Is it any way to make it anonymous? Where your score?
But even if you make it anonymous, it's gonna be a problem.
How would they know who scored?
Because the person that, if they don't feel they got the right scores, they're gonna say something about it. Some people want to see what certain people gave them.
That's really, really sad. That is really, really sad, because it would help.
And that's what I'm saying is that's why I keep saying we are the problem.
Yeah.
See, every time you try to find solutions to these situations, somebody go and mess it up.
God, that's
and who would want to judge a contest if you have to worry about arguing with somebody every time you finish?
Yeah, no, I'm good. I thought I wanted to do it next year. I'm good. No.
But we had did that for several years, where we used to give people their scores, and what's called, and let them go, hey, we need to work on our synchronization. We need to work on our footwork. Say, well, we did pretty good over. We just got to work a little bit. That's what you give it to them for. But no, they want to go see what somebody personal. Okay, well, such up there. I'm gonna see what he gave me. That's all you was dealing with, and ain't nobody got time for all that.
That's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. And I know this would cost money, but is there any way to make it digital?
You know what? I was thinking about that, but it costs a lot of money to get a digital program to come in and do that. And even next, I looked at somebody saying, what about the audience? You ain't gonna do nothing but get somebody to bring a bunch of their friends.
Oh, well, that's true. So that wouldn't work either.
That wouldn't work either. You see what I'm saying? So it becomes a popularity thing. Or they get all their friends over there. You see what I'm saying? So you
Well,
damn
how
if you
about
do,
if you
you
did a
damn if you don't.
combination of both? Like you had the way that people could call in on their set. This is extra work. This is extra work.
See,
But
when you start to, see,
call
when
in
you
on the,
start to,
call a certain.
I'm gonna give you a prime example. I was doing Dancing with the Stars in Milwaukee. Great program, right?
Yes.
So they had people in the audience was supposed to go on their phones and
Yes. And
vote.
text.
Next
Right.
thing you know, you got people all outside calling in and texting in to vote. It was supposed to be an indoor, inside thing only, and they
So
messed
in other
that up.
words, folks gonna find out how to cheat.
Exactly. But see, with these cell phones nowadays, if I go out and put a massive text, go in and vote 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, P. Now you got a bunch of votes coming through the system, and they're supposed to be coming from within the building, but they're coming from all over the world.
Oh, I see. Because they can give the number to anybody. That's not
So
even
you can
there.
text it with these cell phones. You can text it out.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying now.
You see
So
what I'm
that
saying?
would work.
So if I
I'm
sit
just
up
trying
and
to
say,
figure out a
if I
way.
sit up and say everybody in the building, if I put something on the table and say next to everybody's name, if you're gonna vote for Johnny, put in 83566 Johnny. If only the people that's at the contest. Now people went on Facebook and text all their friends and go and say text XX156 Johnny. Now you got
Yeah, you're
5,000
right.
people sitting in. You know what I'm saying? So that don't work.
Wow. Well, guys, yeah. I mean, it seems like you guys have tried to figure out a way to do it where it's not so expensive. I mean, I know there are other ways,
yeah.
but it's so, I'm sure it'd be very expensive to do it
Exactly.
any other way.
But like I
Wow.
keep saying, we our own problems, you know. And the thing about it is, if we learn to work together and try to make this thing big and better, then it can work. We can make it work. Because at the same time, like I tell people, you know, it gets to it. I mean, you keep going over the same things every year, the same complaints every year. And like people got to understand, everybody can't win. You know what I'm saying? So when you go out there,
Yeah.
bring your best dance to the floor. And if you prevail, then it's all good in that aspect.
Let's talk briefly about the Masters category. The Masters category is coming up next year. I had some people to ask, they wanted to ask you this because they was a little bit confused as to how the Masters worked. Can you tell me off your head, what would be a qualifier for a master, for somebody to compete at the
I'm actually giving
Masters?
that a lot of thought because see what I'm doing, doing some thinking on the Masters because even I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna give you a prime example how steppers think. Okay, I created the Masters category for the best of the best to dance against each other. It's like the NBA All-Star game where you get the best of the best to play against each other. But I'm gonna show you how the steppers think. They think like this here. Well, if we get the Drews, the Docs, and the Tickmans in the Masters, now that give us a chance to get in the regular categories. But see,
Oh, so get them out of the way.
So to me, so what I'm coming up with now, thinking like, if you've ever won first place in the world largest, you have to dance in the Masters.
I like it.
You see what I'm saying? And if you won second or third, you can get in the regular category. But if you ever won first place in the world largest over the 30 years, you have to compete in the Masters category. You can't compete in old school.
I like it.
You can't compete in new school. See, in the Masters, you compete in old school. Masters is old school and new school.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? But if you place first place within the 30 years of the world largest, you have to dance in the Masters. You can't say I'm a dance in old school or I'm a dance in new school because you think that's an opportunity for you. You see what I'm saying? So that's the way I'm kind of leaning towards. Because like I say, last time we had the Masters, which was 5 years ago, the whole thought process was, okay, if Drew danced in the Masters, Tick danced in the Masters, Dre danced in the Masters, all these dances in. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna slide in old school and new school. You see what I'm saying?
Get that first.
Because right. So the thing about it is like I say, the purpose of doing the Masters so you can get a quality category where some of the seasoned dancers are dancing against each other.
I like
and
it.
giving people
See,
that
I really
show.
like it.
You see what I'm saying? Okay, so you can see right, you know, not trying to figure out how to go through the back door. You see what I'm saying? in that
Yeah.
aspect. And that's the thing about it. So that's why after this year, I want to sit down and give myself some thought on how I'm approach this whole masters thing and do that.
I like
And
it. I
go
mean,
that
you're
route.
getting a lot of people going, yes, Pete, yes. Y'all show Pete
You
some
know,
love and some hearts
and do
if
that.
y'all
Cause
like
see, to
that
me,
master's idea.
if you this great dancer, you know, then feel good about when you play the NBA and you go to the All-Star game, you playing against the Kobe Bryants, the Michael Jordans, the Scottie Pippens, you playing against the best dancers. You see what I'm saying? You get an opportunity that everybody else ain't got that opportunity. So you got a
Yes.
chance to dance against the best that the dance has to offer. Then take that opportunity and get out there and dance in the masters category. Not to see how you can scheme and hey, well, okay, they're all dancing over here, so I'm gonna dance over there. You see what I'm
I
saying?
think it's a fantastic idea. I
And so
think
at
it's
that point,
fantastic.
that gives a chance for some of these other 5 or 6 year dancers to be able to elevate in the dance. You see what I'm saying? And do that.
Yes. It'll open it up. Somebody said it will grow the dance. It'll grow the dance because, you know, there's
Exactly.
been things
Because
that
and
people have been
that's what we
dodging.
need out and that's what we need out here for these new schoolers is to grow their category, to grow that dance for these new schoolers. Because when I look at, like I was at one of my prelims and I told everybody everybody over 50 raised their hand. That was over 3/4 of the room. So a lot of these people, you know, that were younger when we were coming up in their 30s, these people are almost in their 50s now. So I'm looking for a lot of these instructors out here to grow the dance. Not only go out here and make money off the dance, but give people the same opportunity that people gave you. Give it to somebody else. If we pass it to your Tickmans and your Dre's and your Docs, then you guys supposed to open the door and pass it to these other guys up under you guys if the dance gonna continue to grow. Other than that, you're gonna be stagnated right there where you are.
And I think it's happening.
And
You have Kevin.
encourage these guys to go out there to compete and to grow the dance. You see what I'm saying?
I
And
love
get that hunger for the dance.
I love it. I actually
And
love it. Kevin
don't be
Dockery.
selfish and don't be selfish with the dance. And it's okay to go out there and make your money and teach, but give somebody what they gave you. And give somebody else that opportunity to grow into the dance, male and female. Don't let the dance just come stagnated and say you got a whole 2 areas of people that ain't doing no dancing. Only thing they doing is coming out going to a party. But when it comes to the dance, like you got the same people competing every year. Where your new dancers at? You got 100 instructors out there. If each instructor got somebody to represent them, you got almost 50 beginners that's dancing or competing, 25, 30 beginners. You see what I'm saying? Give back to the dance what somebody gave to you. The opportunity, because we didn't give them an opportunity, they wouldn't be dancing today.
Why do you think that's not happening?
Maybe it can be for selfish reasons. I don't know. Because there's sometimes people might say, well, shit, if I make you good as me, then that way I can't go out there and win. I heard Theo say one time he was on your show, and he said when he came into the dance, Dre and them gave him a sense of urgency to compete because they kept telling him he couldn't beat them, he couldn't do this. And what Theo did, he went out there and worked on his craft. But the thing about it was, Theo was that same person that they say couldn't do it. But what Theo said was like, hey, I got a surprise for y'all. I'm coming with it. So to me, like I tell the Theos and the Bandies and all that, give these guys up under you that same opportunity that they gave you.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. It's passing the dance down, just like it was passed down.
I totally agree.
That one era of people,
so different.
that one era of people is stagnated right now. And that's the thing about it.
And it's so funny that you would say that. I was up in Chicago the last time I visited, and I was with Danielle, Keisha Reese, and Vicky, and they were giving us, like, you know, privates. We just all there having a good time, and we privates. In my mind, you know, I know I got to pay you at least $45 or $50, $60 or whatever. So when we finished, Danielle was offended that I asked her how much I owe you, what's my damage. She was like, what?
Because you know what? Because people gave her the dance. That's why she feel like that, because somebody gave her the dance.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And that's the whole thing about it. And see, back when Drayton was coming up, Drayton had classes. Sunshine them had classes. So these people always had people to represent them in the contest. And they were proud to say, she from my class, he from my class, they from my class. My students won. LC and them, my students won. Because they were putting out product. They were putting out people that came up under them. But now you don't hear instructors saying the same thing like, oh, that's my student in there. They come up under me. You know, when Terrence and them was, Dre would make them compete in would get them contest ready. Drew would do it. You know, certain people that we gave this dance to, they went out here and they brought people into this dance to bring them up in the dance. But you got instructors now, they're not doing it. I mean, people got 3 and 4 classes. Okay, you got 3 and 4 classes, that's almost 40, 50, 60 students. What are they putting out? Where your product at? I
don't think it's about that. It's not about the product anymore.
You see what I'm saying? So to me, as a I mean, help the dance. Give back to the dance what somebody gave you. Only doing classes because somebody gave it to you.
Right. Right.
In order for us to grow this dance, we have to give it back. Because if we don't give it back, it becomes stagnated. And that's what's happening in the steppers game. So at the end of the day, when they start talking about elimination, shit, who you gonna have to eliminate? You ain't got but 200 people soaking wet.
That's real talk, Pete. So
you ain't got but 200. So they can't look at what we had. We had thousands of people that were dancers when we were coming up. They don't have that now. Especially when you're talking about on a competitive level. I see so many young people out here that I feel should be competing. I see young ladies and guys that's in the new steppers community that comes out, and you can see it in their eyes. They want to be competed. They want to compete, but you ain't got nobody to influence them to compete. You see what I'm saying? Because you know what they're doing? They're getting a lot of negative stuff. Oh, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do it. Why not? Give them the same opportunity. It ain't nothing but a dance. It don't make you or break you as a person. It's just an experience in life. You know what? I remember when I got in the world largest. I remember when I learned how to do this. And I tell people all the time, it ain't nothing to it. Just like Jay-Z say, it's only a competition.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you know, let people have time, whether they win, lose, or draw. Let them go on that stage and have fun and enjoy something in their life. People are going through all kind of stuff. We losing family members. We losing people. And at the end of the day, there's other serious things out here we should be worried about other than a damn dance.
Oh my God, you preaching.
We have lost so many people in the steps community, and all we can do is worry about somebody beating us dancing or dancing. Come on, we taking the fun out to dance.
Yeah.
You know, bring the joy back into the dance.
Fun.
Exactly. You know, encourage people to want to do this. And you know what I'm saying? And you ain't gonna lose nothing by doing it. You know, and that's the whole thing about it. And so the thing about it is, and that's why you get some of the older people be like, damn, what are they doing out here?
Right.
You know, and all that, because they seeing this dance go from one level to another level.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. Yeah. When we were doing this dance back in the 70s, people went at them about this dance when they were doing it. It was fun to us. We would dance for $25.
Yeah.
Like I said, we were doing contests before this world largest came up. You know, we used to go to Chick Rick's and different places and dance for $25 and have fun and be talking the next day. Not laying there talking about, I don't fuck with her, I don't fuck with him. Because of a dance?
Yeah.
I'm not going to never fall out with you for a dance. I'll fall out with you for a basketball game for a dance. But at the end of the day, enjoy life. Life is too short.
Right.
And if your whole life is based on a dance, then you ain't working with a lot.
What can we do to get the younger community involved?
I just told you. Some of these dancers out here now, these younger dancers that we open the door for, they need to encourage these dancers to get out here and dance and quit bringing a lot of the negativity out and be more positive. The thing about it is, I call it a toxic situation. And sometimes when people are going through things in their life, they want other people to go through things. You know, when you got toxic people around you and negative people around you, sometimes you got to cut it off. You know, life is hard enough for us as it is. I don't need no negative stuff. When somebody comes to me talking about a contest negative, hey, keep it to yourself.
Please.
But at the end of the day, I've heard it all. If you ain't coming to me with a positive program, I don't need nothing here, nothing negative.
Right.
Because I've heard it all. And the same thing with just life in general. If you got somebody always sitting, prime example. You have people in the contest Saturday. I can do better than that, so I can do this. But you ain't up there doing nothing.
You ain't up there, right?
Anybody can sit down talking about how good they are. Show the world how good you are. If you can do better, show people you can do better. I tell people all the time, encourage, don't discourage. Anybody can discourage somebody not to do something, and some people try to discourage you because they're not happy within themselves.
Right.
So they don't want to see you have fun. Have fun with your life. Like I tell people all the time, life is short. And if all you're gonna do is think about a dance and what it brings to you, then you in for a rude awakening.
Right.
And that's what the people like myself and people behind that we're brought to this dance teach positive program. Each one teach one.
Right.
Teach people to have fun with it. I've heard people, and I heard people in places that ain't never been in a contest. And the first thing come out their mouth is something negative. They're going to cheat. How in the hell you know? You ain't even never danced in a contest. You ain't never been in a contest. I had to call a lady up one time from out of town, telling somebody, oh, I already know going to win. You don't know a damn thing. But the first thing you want to do is preach negativity.
Wow.
You ain't never been in a contest. But the first thing
and I don't know a solution to that. That's just an unhappy person.
And the first thing come out of her mouth is something negative.
Right.
Instead of saying, you know what, go out there and try. Give it your best try. Have fun with the dance. Oh, yeah, it's already rigged. They already know who's going to win. Really? You ain't never been in a damn contest.
Wow.
And the first thing can come out your mouth is something negative. I mean, it's crazy. You actually get tired of hearing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like I tell people all the time, I don't have no reason to cheat nobody out of nothing. Because at the end of the day, what am I cheating for? What are you cheating for?
You got to give out the prizes, right?
There ain't nothing to cheat for. But what we do is we always look for excuses to tell somebody why we didn't prevail in something. I got cheated. They did this. They did that. But it ain't never their fault. It's always someone else's fault why they didn't prevail in something. And we as people have to stop trying to find and make up excuses for things when we don't succeed in life and whatever it is. I don't care what it is. And do that. And we need to do better by that. And some of us are too old for that.
Way too old.
Way too
old. Right. So y'all on Saturday when you get to Tinley Park, now is it too late to buy tickets, Pete?
We still have tickets available. They can go on Eventbrite. The VIP section is sold out and the ringside section is sold out. But there's general admission tickets. The general admission seats are good seats. All the seats in there are good seats. But and I tell people all the time, there's not a bad seat in the house. Come on down, enjoy yourself, and have some fun. All you got to do is go to Eventbrite, 29th Annual World Live Steps Contest, and you can still purchase tickets online. Yeah.
All right, y'all got that.
And for those that's in Chicago, you can go to all Dress and Press clothing stores. We have tickets still on sale at all. There's 3 locations, and the people in Chicago, they know where those locations are. But from out of town people, you can go.
Pete moved. Pete. Pete started driving, y'all. Pete knew better than that. Oh, now where can they? Yeah. We didn't hear anything you just said. You were frozen.
Say that again.
So people in so say it again. People in Chicago can get the tickets where?
All my Chicago people can get tickets from all Dress to Impress clothing stores. So people in Chicago know where those locations are. Or even in Chicago, you can still go on Eventbrite too, as well. But if you go to Dress and Press, there's no surcharge. Which if you go to Eventbrite, there's going to be a $2, $1.50 surcharge on your ticket sales.
Okay, very, very good.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything else you need to tell Pete? Tell these folks before we let you go, Pete. Is there anything else you need to say?
I just tell people come on out and have fun, and come out to support the people, not to criticize the people. And come out and have fun. We start off on Wednesday. We're going to be 119th Street. Thursday we're going to be over there with my man Marvin over at the Blue Note Jazz Club. Excuse me. And Friday, we're going to be hanging out with my man, Andre Blackwell and Terrence Platt for the red carpet party Friday. Saturday, with the main event, we're going to be at Tinley Park Center. And then Sunday, we're going to be doing the day party with my man, Dan, and me and Kevin Nevels Sunday for the day party. And Dre and them got a workshop Sunday morning. And I think Donnie got his thing going on Saturday. I think from 10 to 3. So we got plenty of dancing, plenty of good music, and plenty of fun. We're going to be doing, like I say, everything kicks off tomorrow.
Now, someone wants to know, and I can answer this question: will it be
Come
televised
on
live?
up to Chicago, to Chi-Town, Steppers Capital, and have yourself some fun.
All right. So somebody asked, will it be televised? Not yet, but it will be live on my YouTube channel. So if you have not subscribed, please do to Talking Tea with Tika. It will be live on my YouTube channel. Guys, don't hang up. Pete, listen, if there's nothing else, how do we dress on Saturday? We stepper shy?
Hey, we're going to be stepper shy. When you come to Chicago, you got to bring your A game, even to watch the game. Even if you bring your A game to watch the game.
How about that? So y'all come dressed to impress on Saturday night at Tinley Park.
And
what time does the contest start?
9 o'clock. I start at 9 o'clock. So we got the VIP reception from 6:30 to 7:30. And we open door for the general public at 8 o'clock. 9 o'clock, the contest starts.
All right. Somebody said there's an after set after the contest.
Right next door, we got after party. So we're going to try to finish that contest about 11 o'clock, 11:30. And then we're going to go next door and step to 2 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, very good. Somebody want to know how you dress on Friday. That would be a question.
Man, you got to be sharp for the weekend. Friday and Saturday, you got to be stepping sharp. Stepping sharp.
Be sharp the entire weekend. Except at Donnie Davis's class. It's normally very warm in there, so don't be too sharp.
You got to be stepping sharp.
But all right, so very good. Is there anything else you can think of, Pete, that you need to
say? No, just say, hey, good luck to all the couples. Everybody come on out, and we're going to have some fun.
Yes, I'm going to post the rules. I think I found them, so I will post them on my page. So if you guys are competing and you need those rules, please look at my page, and I will post those soon.
And if you got any questions about the rules, feel free to call me now, and we can talk about it.
How about that? Inbox him first. We ain't gonna put your phone number out there like that. So inbox him first, and then he'll give you a call. How about that?
That'll work.
All right, sounds good to me, guys. I appreciate your time. Again, I have show sponsors tonight, Perfectly Designed. The book, you need to get that book, Perfectly Designed. It's a stepper. Did y'all know we got steppers as authors? Did y'all know? We have some talented people in this community. We need to support them, okay? Her book is Perfectly Designed. She's on Amazon.com. I'm going to go ahead and let you go, Pete. I'm going to go ahead and get these announcements out. Right, I appreciate you. Right. You know how to exit out, don't you? Oh, Pete fancy now. 4th and 5th Atlanta at the VFW Post. It's that time to make your plans for the Heritage Ball. Don't go yet. Heritage Ball, guys, get your rooms early. Y'all know the Heritage Ball is bananas. So that's a no-sleep weekend. For more information, go to www.heritageball.com. I see some folks trying to join this live. I am sick of talking. I'm kidding. All right. Listen, the Chocolate Ball. The Chocolate Ball is going down in San Antonio, Texas. That is July 2nd through the 5th, 2020. I am actually being honored at the Chocolate Ball. Y'all got to be there. Y'all know y'all got to see me with my new stuff. Look, come through the Chocolate Ball, San Antonio. Need more information on that? It is at the Chocolate Ball. It's on Eventbrite. She's got her stuff on Eventbrite. Go there. It's www.2020chocolateball at eventbrite.com. We also have the 12th annual Harlem Night Steppers Ball. Did y'all go to that yet? The Steppers Ball is November 7th through the 10th in Long Beach. If you need information on that, go to harlemnightsteppersball.com or call 855-727-4272. We also have Giving Survivors Hope. I think this is a beautiful event that they're doing. 3rd annual Stepping in Pink. That is in Huntsville. So if you're down south, go out to Huntsville. That is going to be April 10th through the 11th of 2020. For more information, contact Rose. Rose's number is 256-724-1118. I think I have covered everybody. Again, I have all these show sponsors posted. I need you to support these folks. Support them. Support them. You know why I want you to support them? Because they support me. How about that? Y'all support them because they support me. That's enough reason. Anyway, all right, guys, I love you guys so much. Again, thank you to the show sponsors. Thank you so much, Pete. Thank you guys for all tuning in. Make sure you share this live. It's special to people that's competing this year. And guess what? I will see you guys in Chicago. I'll see y'all this weekend. I'm just saying, I'll see y'all this weekend. I love you guys so much. You guys have traveling mercies, traveling angels around everyone that's traveling to Chicago this year. And I can't wait to see you. All right. Love you guys so much. Sip, sip.